Welcome to the Wrestling Still Cool podcast. My name's Cam. In this episode of the podcast, I have an interview with Stan Stylez. He showed up on the podcast earlier this year when Mark was still a part of it, and we talked with him about his character work and the whole, I think it was called Master of the Cream, things like that, being more leaning towards a comedic style character. In this, we discuss his change, his injury that resulted in the change, because now he's working as a heel, still comedy based, but more of a heel. And he talks about his upcoming match against Marcus Mathers for the Intergender Bonanza Championship that will take place in November. And before we get into that interview, I do want to touch on a few things. It does appear that last night, because I am recording this on Sunday morning, last night, Christian did lose the title to Josh Alexander, who was subsequently pinned by Moose from the Call Your Shot challenge. So now Impact's world champion is Moose. This leaves me wondering whether or not Christian will still be part of Impact Television going forward, or if he will go back to being primarily on AEW. But either way, that's big news coming out of Impact's Bound for Glory. The other big news is the Inspiration are the women's tag team champions now. If you don't remember the Inspiration, they're called the Iconics in WWE, but they're now going by Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee in the Inspiration. So Impact is making big moves right now. Braun Strowman did not show up, but some people know him as Adam Shearer because that's what he's been going by. His social media is his actual name, not his WWE name. But that's what happened so far this weekend. So we're going to go ahead and get into the interview with Stan Stylez here.
In any case, let's go ahead and get into it. So Stan Stylez, like I mentioned before off air, we haven't talked in a few months, and I know a lot of things have happened since then.
Yes.
So what happened with the injury?
Was injured in a taping of all things. Like I was doing a dropkick depression taping, and I was injured in a triple threat match. I broke my ankle, and when I originally happened, I'm like, oh man, this sucks. I knew I like either twisted it or and I was sent to the ER, and I was like, they x-rayed me, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yo, this is definitely bad, because it was taking them a while to, they had me on the wheelchair, icing it up, and they were like, yeah, your ankle was broken here and here. I broke it in both sides, and they were like, yeah, you need to, we're just waiting for your orthopedic doctor to find a room, because he needs to set your ankle back, and they did that. They actually had I set it twice, because he put the cast on, x-rayed it, didn't like how it looked, had to take the cast off and then reset it and then put it back. So I was like, oh geez. And yeah, I needed surgery, and I got surgery, and it's definitely sucked it in the day after surgery. And I was at a commission for about 3 months, but I was determined to get back as soon as possible. And I rehabbed the hell out of it and continued to work out. And I was ready to go by August. And I said, hey, I'm going to give it, because my show was in August, my last Intergender Bonanza, and I said, you know what, I'm going to be ready, more than ready by September. And it's been about 2 weeks. I already had 4 matches already, so things are looking good.
Right. Yeah, I saw a little bit of the posting when, injured and coming back, and I know you guys have Intergender Bonanza 10
coming up, yeah.
And that's at the end of October, right?
October 20th.
All right, is that going to be streaming anywhere, like IWTV or Fight?
Yep, live on IWTV, 8 o'clock.
Nice. I tried to catch your match this past weekend. I can't remember who you're at a show for, but I had it saved on IWTV. I just haven't gone back and watched it. It was Sunday, I think, that you had a show, right?
That was my match, yeah, with Riley Shepard, yeah.
That's what it was, and that was with H2O, wasn't it?
It's at H2O. It's run by Sean Henderson. It's called Sean Henderson Presents. It's the same building I run in Williamstown, Jersey. The same building I run the Intergender Bonanza at.
Okay, and it looks like, if I remember right, there's 2 people on there that I recognize the names of. 2 Colt Scorpio.
Yep.
And your opponent in their Gender Bonanza, Marcus Mathers.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, of course he was there. He's everywhere right now. Which is good for him.
Yeah, I'm happy for him, because after we talked to you, I actually talked to Marcus at either the beginning or middle of April, And he told me some kind of matches he was involved in, and
Yeah, yeah.
because he's telling me about a little bit of hardcore stuff, and no.
Yeah, he's been getting into a lot of. He's just, he's young and he's only 18, and he's Mark Angel's son.
Mm,
For everyone's listening here that didn't know that, yeah, he's legitimately Mark Angel's son, and yeah, he wants to dabble in everything, and he is the Internet Bonanza super champion, my champion of my company.
right.
He won like, I'm not gonna say it's a fluke, but no, he beat Ray Lynn and Zoe Sky the
Yeah.
same day and became that champion. But yeah, he's dabbling in everything, and he's young, and he's only by about a little, maybe 2 years, maybe a little more than 2 years in. So he's just trying to get out there and he's making his name for himself. He is. But
Yeah,
other than that,
which is good for him, and
hmm
I dig the character change, the more heelish character that you had made
yeah,
change to. So what prompted that? Is it just like I got to come back and be something different, or
exactly, yeah. Like I always um was thinking about changing my character, and I was gonna wait a little while.
right?
But then the injury happened, and I said, I got to come back and just change it all up, be something different. Because I want to, make an impact and shock everybody and make people go like, oh my god, like what is Stan Styles become? Like what another like entity, another transformation, so we say. And I figured, hey, what better way to do it? That's at the last Bonanza 9, the day before my birthday of all things. And I was pretty much playing it off that I was still injured, and I wasn't injured. I was actually ready to go and just shocked everybody.
Yeah. I remember watching the Twitter. I go, whoa, whoa, whoa! What happened to Stan here? Like, it's cool to see the transformation happen because, like, I remember when we talked to you before, you're more aiming towards comedy in
Yeah.
that style, and now it's ultra aggressive and still mixing in the whipped cream and everything.
Yeah, it's still a comedy. I still say a comedy relief. But yeah, it's definitely more like fans dubbed me evil Stan Styles, which I didn't even think they were gonna do that. I was gonna either call myself Bad Guys Stan Styles or just Stan Styles, but everyone started dubbing me evil Stan Styles. And yeah, there's definitely this mix of a lot more comedy, like there always is, because like I said, like I'm like comedy relief, but I'm dangerous now too, and it's just something I've been wanting to do, and now it's just like, all right, now we're doing it, and like let's see where it goes, and people are very very excited to see what's going to happen next.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna try and watch Intergender Bonanza when it comes up. Now, when you say comedy relief in terms of the darker character, how does it come
Yeah.
about? Because I've seen some clips on the internet, but it wasn't really comedy. It was more so you cutting promos or you attacking
hmm
Marcus Mathers. That's the only two things I've really seen.
Yeah, last couple matches, if you see, it's definitely still comedy. It's but like it's I'm not scared to make an ass out of myself to
All
entertain the
right.
fans. Where before I was making my opponents looking like an ass. Now I'm getting look like an ass. So yeah, but yeah,
Okay,
it's
so at least you understand the psychology of the whole.
hmm
If you're a heel, you're supposed to be
oh yeah.
an ass, essentially.
Yeah, I started my wrestling career. When I started, I was dubbed the heel first, so it's nothing new to me. But I've a babyface for so long that coming back as heel, I was like, wow, like this is like a lot of fun. Like my promos, it's just so. I would say this, it is definitely easier to cut a promo as a heel because I can just say whatever I want. Like
Right.
I was explaining it to somebody that like it's like a game of chess. When you're a babyface, you're always going forward, but when you're the heel, you're like the queen. You can go forward, back, left, right, all kinds of directions, and you don't they have so much more leeway to play with.
Oh, I definitely, from what I've seen from other people, I think playing a
hmm
heel would probably be the most enjoyable thing. Because at that point, you're just like, let me see how far I can push the envelope and get a reaction kind of thing.
Yeah.
And someone like, and this is more on TV, but someone like MJF, he pushes
Yeah.
the envelope as far as he can go just to get a reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it would be a lot of fun. And now, have you incorporated the whipped cream a little bit differently, being this more heelish character?
I definitely been. I still use all the gimmicks still. Yeah, the whipped cream's still there. It's going to be made. Well, you can't take that away from me, the cream, the shake weight. But yeah, I've been using cream just more like embarrass, especially Marcus and I'll spoil it, Riley too. When you watch that match, putting it in their face, cream in their faces.
Okay.
I drew a sad face on her face and for the whipped cream and just stuff like that. And now I'm using it as a submission finish with the whipped cream center, but I'm now using the Anaconda Vice, my version of the Anaconda Vice.
Okay.
So change it up, make him think like, oh, wait a minute, now he's got a submission move under his belt, now, he can hit you with the stunner, but if he puts his arms around you, you're done when you're locked in the vice. So
you got to figure out how to put the whipped cream with the vice.
Well, yeah, I don't want to spoil it for the people with the going to watch the match on IWTV or you on IWTV, but there is ways.
Okay. Because I was just thinking about that. I'm like, man, what if he did that?
Yeah, there's always a lot of fun things to do with whipped cream. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, for sure. Now with Intergender Bonanza, how many hours is that event going to be now?
I believe it's going to be 2.5. It's usually they're always around 2.5 to 3 hours tops. I always just do 8 matches. I don't want to do too crazy. I know a lot of shows, man. They a lot of indie shows, they have like 10 matches. And I'm like, it's just too much. The fans get bored. They get tired. Some leave. So I think 7 to 8's perfect. 7 to 8 matches are just perfect for just enough, and people come back to see more and tune in to see more too if they're watching on IWTV or Fight, like you said, Fight or any other kind of streaming service.
Mm-hmm. And I do remember seeing a card, but I don't remember what else is going on there.
I just announced Sean Henderson's going to take on debuting Nikki Adams. Man, this card, it's the Bonanza Mania, so it's like the WrestleMania of the Bonanza. It's the 10th one, so I called it Bonanza Mania. So I really am trying to put in the matches that I've been, kind of even saving a lot of these matches for this particular show, just because I want these matches to be really, really big. And of course, me versus Marcus for the Intergender Bonanza Championship. Then we're gonna have Jeff Cannonball taking on Brittany Blake, which is it's just crazy because huge guy versus this tiny by 100-pound girl. A lot of people think, oh my God, this is crazy. What are you doing? And then Masha Slamovich, who's pretty much like white hot right now. He's all over. She's going to take on G Raver. It's the totally different dynamic. Like just matches that no one would ever probably even think of doing. What else was there? We got that, and then I got also Kennedy Copeland, who's another one that's especially at H2O in that building. She's red hot versus the debuting Too Hot Steve Scott, and another wrestler that I knew for years, friends with him for years, and wanted to come into the Bonanza because I think he'll be a great addition, and I think that match is going to be amazing too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you got 4 so far that you've announced, and you plan to do, you said 6?
I got 5. I'm going to announce. I have 3 more to announce.
Okay, nice. And you're right with the length of a card, with people getting bored, and that's kind of with like when people. It made me think of like the WrestleMania that was like almost 8 hours when you included the kickoff show. So like when people were like, well, why would they change taping locations for blank and blank? It's like, would you want to sit through 8 hours of wrestling?
It's tough. Yeah. It's just so much. And the crowd, it's hard to judge their reaction because, when you're in after 8, 9 matches, like what else can you do? Especially if there was some crazy, cage match or ladder match or something like that, or just a crazy wrestling match where it's like, the energy's spent.
Right.
It
was just like I'm sorry, I'm gonna mention AEW again. It's just like during the last pay-per-view before the main event, where they're gonna have Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega in those 2 debuts. They put Paul White and QT Marshall just as a blank match to kind of get people to relax.